Alright guys, it's about 5:30 in the morning, this wonderful July 1st, 2014. Got some pretty awesome Ford updates for you here today. Number one being that my 92 is now wearing the front clip of my 80. For any of y'all that didn't know, body lines do match up pretty well. The only real difference in the 80 to 86 body lines as opposed to the 87 to 91 style and 92 to 96 is the fender arches. 82, 86 bows in, the newer ones flare out. So to make it look period correct, I'm going to try to find, since this is a short bed, try to find one of the original 80 to 86 step side beds. I just like those a lot better than the newer flare sides that came on these. Interior is still the 92 style. Windows have all been tinted. Myself in the dead of winter using a small bathroom and a heater to help cure the tint. Also switched the back window from a slider to a solid piece. Don't really see the point in a sliding window in a super cab. But yeah, the plan is to somewhat convert this to the 80 to 86 interior. Dash anyway, it'll need custom brackets made. Vent plate won't line up right there. Scoot it over just a little bit to the right on the older ones. You need pedal brackets, and it's becoming a pain in the ass to find the 80 to 86 that are standards in the junkyard. So there's that. Door panels I'd like to actually keep 92. I believe this little area right here, I believe it would fit the 80 to 86 dash pretty well. But they're more plush, they look a little bit, I like these door panels a lot better than the 80 to 86 style. As far as dash swaps go, almost everything is in a very similar location to where it would have been on the older ones. So that ought to come in handy. Repin the cluster harnesses and all that. The only thing that doesn't match up is the fuel tank selector there is on the AC controls on the older ones. But I intend to run a larger single tank anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. Apparently where the steering column goes to the firewall is also different, so I'll have to figure out a way around that. Main reason I didn't really buy an actual 80 to 86 style truck like this is because this one was set up the way I wanted it. Fuel injected 302 with the 5-speed. And the newer super cab side windows, the single piece like those, I actually like those a lot better. And 92 to 96 actually has rear speakers. That's a big plus. So that's about all she wrote on this truck. I'll get into why I did the front clip swap here for you real quick. If you don't want to listen to all this and want to go more in depth to my 80 F100, just skip ahead in the video till you find it, because it'll be in this video too. Alright, so two main reasons why I did this swap. Number one, I like this front end so much better. That's really the main reason. I was debating this swap before I even bought this truck. So, it's pretty straightforward, not much to modify. As a matter of fact, a lot of stuff even bolted up. Same solenoids, battery tray wood, if I could just, line it up properly. It's not completely lined up, but it needs new sheet metal anyway, so I'll just wait until that time comes. ignition control module is just laying over there in the heat sink. There wasn't a place to bolt it to the older fenders, but it ain't hurting nothing, so I don't mind leaving it there. The main thing that I actually need on here that did not bolt up was the air filter box. And I thought about using the setup from the 86 EFI trucks, but since I used the core support from an 80, the knockout over here, where the breather hose goes through, this front end was off of a carburetor truck, so the hole for the tube's over here. The EFI trucks actually had that one and another one in the same place on this side, and it's not knocked out, so I'm gonna have to figure out something different there. Inner fenders line up pretty well, but I haven't got them completely secured because I gotta replace the fenders again anyway. Alright, so on to why I actually did the swap. Another reason why I did it. The old core support 92 to 96 has a real problem with them rotting out, especially where it bolts to the frame, and mine was completely trashed. This one happened to be perfect, so thought why not, and I went ahead and did it. As you can tell, right now my water pump's leaking. Big old puddle on the ground here. Got corks plugging the holes up, the inner seal fried on it. I was going to change it, but I broke one of the bolts off in the timing cover, so I said screw it until I got something else to drive, just in case things go horribly awry. Tried to recharge air conditioning and converted it to the R134A. Turns out the compressor seized up, so that was terrible. Front bumper doesn't have a chance in hell of bolting onto the newer frame. It sticks out further. It's got these, the crumple zones for front end impacts. And the bumper just mounts completely different, so instead of cutting the frame down or modifying the old bumper to make it work, I'm just going to custom make one. As I said, everything really bolted up pretty well. The only modification I had to make was the Bullnose style. The bottom mount was flat, flush with the cab. The newer ones are angled out like this. So to combat that, I just cut the bottom of the fenders and bent the tab out. Driver's side I got pretty close. This one, as you can tell, the fender goes in a little bit too far. Door rubs on it. I did it in a hurry, but if you're careful, you can cut it back just enough and bend it just right. Dog will line up perfectly. Alright. Now we're going on to the 80. It's a sight for sore eyes. No, it's not. It's a terrible sight. Very brutal. Obviously the front end went to my other truck. The bed was given to my buddy with an 85 F150 who needed the bed. Front end and the bed both had body damage I didn't really particularly want to fix. Got corn growing through it. Isn't that amazing? Growing corn in my backyard through the frame of an old truck. But yeah, this was a F100, and it was the lighter F100, so it had the car suspension, car axles. Being an 80, it has this wonderful Swiss cheese frame with the holes through it. Frame's not in too bad a shape, but I need something a little bit stronger. So the plan is, I found a 85 F150, same setup, regular cab, long wheelbase, fuel injected 302 and overdrive transmission with a perfect body. But instead of just driving that truck, I actually like my 80 F100, which is fully loaded. The new truck being low options except for the fuel injection, the overdrive, and factory air, amazingly. That's the only options it's got. Plus, I don't want to go through the legality issues of changing VIN numbers and all that, so we're just going to stick to... Oh my god, it's cold in here. It's like 75 degrees outside, and it's like mid-50s in here, no joke. It's kind of cool. But, yeah. Gonna revamp the interior a little bit. This cab is very, very solid and worthy of being transplanted on a new frame. Once that's done, all this cab needs is just a little bit of body work. Cab corners have been fiberglass by a previous owner. Need to be redone. There's a small area of rot right there. There's a dent on the roof there where we used to stand on it to climb up on the bridge at the river. And of course, got the dent right there where it hit the tree. That's why the bed was dented too. Bashed in down the side. Need to fill in the holes where the lariat emblems used to be. Once I get that body work done though, it'll be up for restoration, and I'll drive it around as is for a while. And future plans after the restoration is to build a 427 stroker built out of a 351 Windsor. The reason I wanted to do that is I'd really like a large displacement stroker. You know, maybe push 700 horsepower or so. I'm wanting to build a wicked sleeper here, and I'm partial to the Windsor engines. The 302 is a Windsor, as are the 289s and the 255s. But yeah, this is a Windsor. The only difference between the 289s, 255s, 302s, the only difference between them and the 351 Windsor is 351 is just about an inch taller and an inch wider. But they directly interchange. I know it looks a little messy around here. I'll work non-stop anymore. So please pardon that. So since I wanted to do that build, I already started gathering parts. I already got my 351 block. Paid a whopping $75 for all the parts you see here. The block, the heads, water pump, timing cover, a couple of miscellaneous parts. The crane cam. Yeah, it was disassembled. And also got a set of shorty headers with it that are designed for a Mustang. I can't use them, so I sold them on Craigslist for $80. I got a guy come and look at them today, hopefully. So yeah, paid $75 for all this, and I already made $5 more than I paid. But yeah, the only things that were missing were oil pan, crankshaft, and intake, I believe. Of course, I got the oil pan. It's got to need a custom crank, and I haven't decided what intake I even want to use yet. This was all the scrap. All the pistons were scrap. 4 of them are completely seized, won't move at all. Main bearings, lifters, all that associated crap. That was just a rusty mess. So into the scrap bin they went. But I didn't think too much of it when I bought it, but the timing cover and water pump was bolted to it, and the heads were bolted on it without any internals, and I couldn't even fathom why. But upon further inspection, oh, by the way, let me go ahead and inform you all, I don't own any kind of fancy lifting equipment for this, so it was loaded by hand into the back of my truck and unloaded by hand and brought into the garage. It was not fun. It's cast iron, a few 100 pounds. It's really not fun to do by hand, but got it done. But yeah, as I was saying, couldn't fathom why all that stuff was bolted to it without any internals. As I took the heads off, I finally realized why. There's rust in the water jackets, but it doesn't appear to be too deep, too bad, so take it to the machine shop and see if they can clean it up for me. Go ahead and set the block down. Got that beautiful number right there, 351. Obviously the guys that had hold of this before me didn't really prep that well, didn't know what they was doing, so it's going to need to be cleaned up a little bit, but it is a solid block. It's got an E4AE casting number. It's cast in a 1984 mold. The date code on it is 7L26, which means it was made November 26, 1987, and was more than likely installed in a 1988 model F-Series truck. That's what I'm guessing. Of course, at this point in time, it really doesn't matter what it came out of. So, yeah, got my block. Go ahead and set this back up. It's a heavy sucker. Of course, the heads and the timing cover and water pump and all that probably added an extra 75 pounds while I was trying to pack it. That's where we stand now. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll have the donor truck bought. I can go ahead and get on, actually get my body work done and get the truck on its way to restoration. And I'm going to go ahead and order the 427 stroker kit and go ahead and take it all down to the machine shop, have them check the block over, let them clearance it, balance it, and do any kind of prep work that needs to be done, just for the sake of having it done right the first time, because I've never built a stroker in my life. Aside from rebuilds or stock reassembly, that's like a walk in the park to me, but this definitely isn't stock. So I am going to spring for the extra money just to have this done right. And hopefully within the next few months that truck will be back on the road. If not, and it starts getting cold and my full-time job keeps me at bay for a little while, it'll probably get put on the back burner until next summer, but hoping to get it done this year. That'd be nice. Got all my old front end parts. They're for sale on Craigslist too. But yeah, everything's starting to come together. Sure is. So yeah, everybody stay tuned. Ought to be a pretty fun experience. I believe that's all I got. Like I said, it's about 5:30 in the morning. It's pushing 6 o'clock now. This video's been going on for about 20 minutes. Sorry for boring y'all to death. And thank you all for whoever was interested enough to keep watching this. It's been a long night at work. I'm about to crash, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this video off, set it on upload, take a shower, go to bed. And, y'all do your thing. Like, comment, subscribe, however the hell YouTube works anymore. It's been a long time since I've been on it. Yep. Expect some more videos soon. I'm going to bring y'all some updates. Thank you all who stay interested in all my crap that really makes no sense. why anyone would go to the lengths I do, but yeah. This thing's still in the picture. Still here. Still haven't done anything to it. Still sits in the same shape it's been. I'll go ahead and give y'all a little sneak peek if anybody's even watched this thing to the end. Obviously the weather's taking its toll on it. It's pretty stripped still, and really it's still in pretty great condition. Not much body damage and absolutely no rust. So this will be the next project. This one will actually probably be the cheapest because there's not very much repair work to be done to it. So that'll come after the trucks are done. We'll do both of the Fords at the same time since they're getting similar things done to them. Then it'll be this thing. So be looking for that one too. Now it's time to go to bed as the sun's rose. I'll catch y'all later.